Hello and welcome to the Useless Ideas Podcast. My name is Matthew Churchill, here with Curtis Smith.
As always, welcome back, guys.
And this week, we have a special guest, Noah Wilson.
Hi.
You gotta speak into the microphone, Noah. You can't just wave to it, buddy. I know
You can
that's,
fuck right off, right?
I know that's difficult. I know you've been at work all day, but waving to a microphone doesn't work for an audio recording.
You never know.
They couldn't hear you. I hope. Actually, they might have. So you know,
Deaf
maybe
folks,
it
you
did
never
work.
know.
Deaf folks listen to a thing without video.
No one ever said these deaf folks were the brightest, okay? They can't hear.
They can feel the audio. There we go.
All audio is vibrations.
Exactly.
Science, bitch.
Fuck you, damn science. I don't care about your science. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this to be how we start a podcast, just waving to microphones.
Put me on the spot and shit. Don't know what to say.
Why didn't you tell me about all your fucking salmon that you sliced at work? We literally walked into your job today, and I stared at you slicing salmon for like 5 minutes, hoping you were gonna turn around and see us.
It was a total of 16 minutes for all that fucking salmon.
You didn't turn around and see that I was staring at you for 5 minutes, Noah.
I literally had a guy on the other side of that wall. He could turn around and was like, these creepy looking white kids keep staring at you. Should I call the manager? But no, he's
You
like,
just
you know
know
what?
what we're
Weird
gonna
white kid.
You just know what we're gonna come up and do.
Yeah.
Where's the stir-fry station?
At the fucking stir fry station.
Every fucking time. It's fantastic.
Still haven't told us where it is.
Yeah, you never ever tell us where the stir fry station is.
Now you see, every time you ask, you're in the same spot. You gotta turn around and go directly right up your own asshole.
You actually have to go to Freshco to find the stir fry station?
Well, it does have a lot of Oriental food.
Yeah, okay, but it's
You have like
still...
an entire aisle for that shit.
Yeah, and yogurt soda.
Yes.
I never drank any of that from the game.
I should have told Adam and Severe yesterday when I saw them.
Oh, you should have told them about the yogurt soda.
Why though?
Because you know that Adam would consume an entire 2-liter frickin' bottle of yogurt soda just to prove that he could.
That is true.
That man is a monster, and I love him.
And Severe will be just in the corner just wondering
Just
everything about her life.
honestly reconsidering every single decision that has led her to having a boyfriend who will consume fucking 2 liters of chocolate, not chocolate,
Yogurt.
yogurt
soda.
flavored soda, carbonated
No.
yogurt.
It's not even
Garbage.
flavored.
Contained yogurt. Someone makes tonic, club soda, and goat-based yogurt. Shook it up in a bottle, and put it in your store.
So we sell that. My former employer sells that.
My current employer sells that.
We're not ghetto enough to sell that.
Basically-
the funniest part of the store is my department, which is chef prepared foods, has the 3rd highest order of kale. Produce number 1, obviously. Second, fucking meat department. Meat department has more kale than us.
Why? What about kale would be... I've never once taken a bite of kale and described it as meaty.
I never once took a bite of kale. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's not the worst
mince
thing
it
in the world.
In with their burgers, meatballs. They use it as decoration. They do something with fish. I don't know if they like wrap fish in something.
I don't know.
Like salmon
I don't know
pinwheels or
enough
some shit.
about I don't know enough about kale. I just know that like
It's
I
more
wouldn't
bitter
tend to-
than your dad after you lose the game.
I wouldn't ever describe kale as meaty. So that's what I'll say on the subject is
After me losing the game,
implying
the-
Matt ever plays games.
like, I lost the Overwatch match, Dad. Okay.
He's just disappointed that all you do is sit in the basement playing Lego Star Wars all fucking day.
Overwatch and League.
Yeah, basically.
Then, like, every other week invite 7 other autists over to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, basically. Honestly, the only time it's worth playing D&D for me is if Adam is there, because that's when we get up to the best times.
What about me anytime I play a bard, so ever?
Yeah, it's awful.
It's amazing.
Or how about when I kill you and 5 other people first session, burn the bodies, and convince an innocent man that he's guilty?
What about the time where, for no real reason, I made the decision, we're walking just down an open road, man walks up to us, doesn't say anything, just is walking. I make the decision to rob him. Fail to rob him. We choose then to murder this man, rape his dead body, and Adam, playing a human penis, chooses to, after we've looted him, pick the man up and shove him through the dick hole on his head.
Which is also his mouth.
Which is his mouth. This is...
Purely for the testosterone.
He gained testosterone. Yeah, and Andrew chooses to say that not only is that okay, he gets a strength bonus from it.
At a cost of intelligence. So.
He didn't care. And then chooses that, honestly, you can have a god eat your ass.
He almost rolled. He was one
He
short.
got a lick. He got a lick.
Or the one
He gets
time,
yeah.
or the one time that is a lot less crazy than that, but I somehow passed off you burning the dead bodies, despite me not knowing what the hell you did, as steamed ham.
And then when the guards went to arrest us with a valid reason,
Because you murdered and burned people.
said, "No, you," and they went, "Oh dang, can't arrest them now."
Or the time that you and I decide to walk up to a demon, and we decide, you as a man, a midget wearing nothing but a loincloth.
A halfling bard with nothing but a loincloth.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I walk up to this demon with you, and you decide, you look at him to get this chest, and you go, "We're chest maintenance." And he believes it. And
Almost believes it. He had to throw
And
the
then-
roofie.
Yeah. Then you you give him a drink, a roofie. You choose to roofie a demon into believing that we are chest maintenance. So that then because I was the one who could actually pick up the chest, being a normal size character as a human.
I had 7 strength. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the fucking wizard has the most strength in
That
both
was
of
ri-
our goddamn
That was
campaigns.
ridiculous. But yeah, so pick that up to fight a demon. All of this, we didn't even talk about the time that our friggin' druid got raped by zombies and then had a camel stomp down the doors. Or Mr. Dick Kickham pulling a rapier out of his asshole. We didn't even get to that point.
Oh, by the way, this happened in maybe 2 hours, this entire
Oh.
thing.
All of this.
And then
2
after that
hours.
demon was no longer roofied, came and attacked us, took down our wizard, who was me, in one shot,
And made you a
almost
crispy
killed me
boy.
with the fucking poison from his claws, until it went off my charred body, because some little bitch decided to attack all the guards, who had a high-level wizard, who fireballed half our goddamn crew, until Matt Bard is like, "Hey, how about we all become friends, and you heal us back up to normal, we high-five, and then we play a game of bowling."
Yeah, I just
That happened.
Hey,
of
want
this-
to be friends?
Yeah,
sure.
all of this-
Hello, cousin, let's go bowling!
Hello, cousin. Let's go bowling. It's me, Roman. No, all of this begins with a campaign where our pal Andrew was the DM, and he started us off Elder Scrolls style, of course, as prisoners. Wow, shocker. He starts us off as prisoners in separate jail cells. Now, my plan as a rogue was to pickpocket the guard in front of me, get the key, get myself out. Unfortunately, I was sitting beside our druid, who was an idiot. And he goes first, and the decision that the druid makes is to stare at his spellbook, and stare back at his spellbook.
For about half a second.
Yep. And he looks down. My next character happened to be a druid, so I know the spells. And he looks, and he sees the very first spell on his book, Create Water. He tried to summon water into the stomach of a zombie guard to explode it.
No, the first step was to drown him by making it in his lungs. He said you can't
Right.
put it in his lungs, so it was, I'll just make
Oh,
him
yeah.
explode from the inside.
Yes.
But then it was like, you can't put water inside something.
And then he bones the roll and just drops water on this dude, putting all these guards on high alert, ruining my check.
No, it was just the one guard who took him to the special dungeon.
Yeah, to the
my,
no-no
my
room.
wizard was next, and I used create sound or silent image or
Something like that,
Some
yeah.
distraction to send other 8 guards
All
into the fuck palace
all
to rape this gnome.
This gnome druid who I expressly made sure was the Travelocity gnome. We expressly made sure that he was drawn by our DM's girlfriend, who is a great artist. She decided to draw all our characters. We have some great drawings. I'm going to be putting them up on the screen for you guys to see. But I made sure that the gnome, our druid, was expressly created to be the Travelocity gnome. It's awesome.
So the rest of us break out of our cells. And, Matt, what did your character do exactly?
I just said fuck this and went downstairs to the basement.
He just fucking walked away for no reason.
Grab the stuff out of the chest that's full of spell books, gold,
Yeah.
swords.
Just
grabs
picks up his stuff.
his stuff, walks downstairs.
True neutral. Just leaves. Oh, it's hilarious.
Then you find the boss for like the session or two, an Aleph, a big puff of crazy smoke.
And he would just stare at it.
What was there anything else there?
Like
I-
45 minutes.
I stood up against the wall, right? Rolled to sneak. Was successful. So I stay there for the entirety of the session.
It's amazing.
Plus half of the next one.
Yeah, all this. And then what happens next is, I believe... Yeah, because Michael got out. But then it came to Adam.
Alright, so for those who don't know, Michael, is a friend of ours, thought it would be fun. Rolls up a half-orc fighter. The kid's completely retarded. This half-orc has the intelligence of a sack of
soup.
peanuts.
A whole soup.
But he has ungodly constitution, but less strength than an elven wizard. So we made fun of him for it. He was a meat shield.
Basically.
Sit down so I can fire lightning bolt. Okay, boss.
Okay, you got it. That's great. But anyway, so he got out. He's just doing his thing. But one of our friends,
Adam.
one of our friends, Adam, super close friend of mine. He decides. So let me first clarify. He created a character. He and I were brand new to D&D. So I basically created my character was a human rogue. Basically, I created what I create in Fallout. Because that was the RPG I'm the most familiar with. So I was like, hey, yeah, this should work. Adam, on the other hand, decided to create a human swashbuckler. Interesting class. He chooses to create a swashbuckler named Dick Kickham.
Near perfect stats.
Near
18
perfect,
strength,
yeah.
16 dexterity,
exactly.
14
Ridiculous.
constitution. Only normal stat was intelligence at 12.
Yeah, near perfect. Yeah, like ridiculously great stats. And under the looks section, we were playing 3.5. So under the look, on the sheet, it has a section for looks. Adam wrote one word.
Penis.
He
And
wrote just the word penis under
Then-
his looks, and he was, as such, drawn, as you will be seeing on the screen right now, as a human penis. He then, as he's getting out, he gets out of the cell. he chooses to
No, he
use.
doesn't get out of the cell.
He got out of out of his cell and then decided to go to the next cell, which had a chest in it. He
used retard strength.
yeah,
and
he
must have
chose
done
to
it.
use, as he put it, retard strength. Got it.
rolled a
Rolled a 20. Broke down these steel bars to get into the next cell, and then he goes, I pull the rapier out of my ass. Under where he put his storage for his rapier, he
Ass.
wrote ass.
Our DM,
So-
Andrew, we give him huge points for this.
He
because
said-
without flinching, he said, roll
Roll.
Constitution or else your ass
Dex.
will... No, it's...
Was it? I thought it was either way. He gets Adam to roll. Adam rolls.
19. To not
Perfect.
prolapse his
His
anus from a giant
So
sword
he
being in his ass.
flawlessly pulls out a rapier, a 3.5-foot long sword, from his asshole. I don't know how he did it. And to be fair, I think one of the guys that we were playing with at the time, who, the thing is, all of us shitpost a lot. This one particular guy, he's very into D&D, right? He really plays super straight up, super like by the books type of deal. Plays all the time, has a bunch of different guys that he will like do legit like role play campaigns with. I think he's still fucking mad about Adam pulling a rapier out of his ass. He's still upset about this because he's just sitting there, guys, this is not how you play Dungeons and Dragons. This is ridiculous. I didn't ask for this. It's like, oh, it was amazing.
Well, I think he's really specifically only at like you and Adam.
Mostly at me and Adam because we do the most.
I think he's fine with me.
Yeah,
and Noah.
Yeah,
Oh
because-
no, he hates me after your campaign.
Well, after my campaign,
Yeah,
yes, but
but it's
that's
like
only because I
specific-
allowed you to get like so much money to buy all that shit.
Yeah. We'll go into
Well, it wasn't very difficult.
No, we'll go into we'll go into when you and I became businessmen later in the campaign with
my
my excellent doggo and bathrobe.
Alright, so back
But
to
anyways,
Andrew's
yeah,
campaign.
he's still
Session
upset
one.
at me. Yeah, so he definitely not a fan of me and Adam the way we play because we just do ridiculous bullshit. So all of that we get out now so our druid, we've left him to be raped by zombies. And so he had, mostly the only reason he existed was for his camel, Phil. We
god.
chose to basically make Phil a god to us.
So there was a
and-
joke
yeah.
for the DM, after seeing the stats for the average camel, to go, he should be a wizard.
He should have...
So I'm going to make a saddle that you guys are going to find at some point in the campaign,
That will
which
give
will
him-
boost his intelligence by 28 to
Of
give him
30
more intelligence
intelligence.
than Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein.
Yes.
Combined.
So he gets 30 intelligence.
Oh, he never actually gets the saddle.
never got
'cause
it.
I found it in the chest. It's like, I'm gonna wear it.
You're like, I'm
No.
wearing this now. Oh, it was amazing.
Didn't I have as a almost naked halfling, slightly more
Yes.
than someone?
Probably.
Yeah, you had more than, shit. You had more than Modi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be him. Yeah.
Because I think I had a decent dex. I think I had like 14 dex or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
But I had perfect dex, perfect strength,
Yeah.
and perfect int, but then
And plus-
shit everything.
And plus,
Yeah.
I was a
But-
halfling, so I got size bonus.
yeah.
yeah.
But
So that's
anyways,
at least
this
plus
is all
4
that's all
to everything.
besides it, or
Yeah.
besides the point of the real story here. So we go through that, and then we decide. I think what was next for us was once we, So, anyways, so the camel back to Phil. He comes bursting down the stairs, launches these zombies out of there. This was after actually our druid decided flash. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna blind flare. Yeah, he decides I'm gonna blind these zombies and I'm gonna escape. He rolls a 1 and blinds himself. Continues to get raped by zombies.
He had horribly bad rolls the entire campaign, trying to play seriously stupid, but seriously nonetheless.
Yeah,
But-
his stupidity was not Adam and my stupidity in the
It was,
way
it was
that
a
we
different
do-
type of stupidity.
Yeah,
It
his
wasn't-
stupidity was
it
the
wasn't
fact that he lacks
shitposting, it was-
actual intelligence.
It wasn't low wisdom, it was low int.
Yeah. Adam and I just shitpost constantly because we can.
And then there was slightly later in the campaign. I think it was maybe in the next session, maybe later.
Yeah.
We escaped the general force area. Instead of I kind of come back upstairs, right? Because I heard loud bangs and stuff. I was like, and then all of a sudden go quiet. So I just go upstairs. Oh, okay. Hi. So I like kind of introduce myself. The second session in, just to remind you, then we eventually go upstairs. Even further, one more step up, right? Because I warn everyone, like, hey, there's a big old spooky dude downstairs. Don't go downstairs. So we go upstairs. There's a courtyard, miraculously right next to the jail cell for some reason.
This is what happens when people who are good at theoretical math have to do something in the real world. We're gonna have a jail. Then we're gonna have a farm with a bowling alley.
So we go in.
This is what happens when you let Andrew do anything ever. I think it was stream of consciousness for him, because I'm pretty sure it was just like, he thought jail, then he thought farming, then for some reason he's like, bowling. I want to go I think he's like, I want to go bowling. I'm putting a bowling alley in the campaign. Like,
Okay.
just everything off the top of his head.
So we go upstairs, right? We see one side. We see
Field
like
of wheat or something.
we kind of see this
Well,
courtyard.
was this the sand wheat?
Yes.
yeah,
Let me get
weird
there.
wheat.
Yeah.
We go in. What it looked like, it was basically a big old open square, like with walls and stuff, with a smaller bit of like stone fences. I think.
Yeah, I think it was like a square and it was like cut in quarters
Yeah.
with stone walls and
Yeah.
stuff.
So we go in. We see that one side, bunch of wheat, normal looking ass wheat. The other side, a bunch of berries, right? I think 2 different kinds of berries.
Oh, I have a great quote from this. Yeah.
And then me and good old Curtis here, we go over to the wheat.
Yeah, we decided to team up and really do like rock out together because so Noah and this other guy, the guy that we're talking about, that's super
He
serious.
was our ranger.
He was an elven ranger. It's like, or a half elf ranger. So he was definitely playing the super like
Legolas.
by the book, super by the book type of style. But he and Noah, because he wanted to role play, sort of decided, you're an elf, I'm cool with you more than everybody else. So they're going together, and so Matt and I have to go inspect the wheat together.
So I go up to the wheat and it's like, hey yo dude, am I getting the wheat for me? I'm kind of lazy.
Yeah,
He goes up and grabs the wheat.
So
His hand burns like half off.
No. So I say to Andrew, I grab the wheat. He goes, roll. I go, I no longer grab the wheat. we have a book of quotes. We'll bring that out at some point because it also includes
Something about gonorrhea.
It includes the words gonorrhea town. It includes string cheese.
No, fucking string cheese.
Fucking string cheese. Adam, the words, Adam, you can't impregnate every woman you see. Call me Piper Perry. It includes... That's another great one. It includes,
Modi, you failed so bad, you're going to the sex dungeon.
Yes, it also includes first good roll I have this entire fucking campaign, and it's to not be inside Adam's mouth.
Was there something involving me?
Matt, you just can't solve all your problems with roofies.
Yes.
Another quote that I want to talk about later. So you guys went to investigate the wheat, and you fail epically, burning off your pinky finger.
Yeah.
Because spooky magic.
Hand.
Me and this ranger. Rangers, think of Legolas from Lord of the Rings. They're like all attuned to nature, but they're like, I want to still kill shit with my bare hands. Swords, bows, really cool stuff. At level 1, they get the ability to see nature as it truly is. Any magical plant, anything, they are automatically able to recognize. Our DM didn't know this. He thought it was just an advantage to any roll. So, me, a strong-ass wizard, and this ranger go out to investigate these berries. I wonder if they're good to eat. He rolls a 2. I don't know whether these are good to eat or not. And I should know this, as I am a ranger who lives in the wild. Me, some random-ass wizard who's like, this is a berry, right?
Yeah.
You can eat this.
Because you just decide, this is fine.
So we were able to discern the difference between the poisonous berries and the good berries, which were growing side by side, because somebody doesn't know what the fuck botany means.
I don't know what botany means.
It means
Plants.
Thank you,
It
Noah.
means to knee bots, obviously. Just knee
Just
to the
name.
face.
There's a whole bunch of bots, like, knock the nuts and bolts straight out of it.
Yeah.
So
But
we
anyways.
investigate this, and suddenly we start hearing what our DM stupidly described as gunshots. In the distance, they were like, what? So we go investigate.
Gunshots!
These guards, who didn't attack us, first of all, as guards, as we escape from this prison, they're, on one side, they're playing bowling, and they're all stoned. On the other side, they're playing ping pong.
And they're all freaking stoned. It's so great. Because we
go
walked
play-
up. What about. Oh, yeah, and this is when we bumped into Shaggy the Ghost.
He was playing bowling.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
he was bowling.
So,
okay.
we go over and it's like, what, are you bowling right now? It's like, yes, if you beat me in a game of bowling,
I'll give
I will
you
give
these.
you a magical item. We go, okay. We all play bowling with this stone ghost.
I guess
Most
this-
of us lost because he has some weird innate bonus to bowling as a
I
ghost.
guess are you? I've never smoked pot and gone bowling before, so I don't know if it makes you better at bowling.
Well,
like,
you're
I
so
can't-
calm. I think you can just get the
I can't.
swing right, you know?
But at the same time, bowling alleys are full of food. You gotta be
Like,
distracted.
remember in the early 2000s where it was like all that glow in the dark bowling, like with the disco
Cosmic
lights?
bowling.
Yeah,
yes.
cosmic. If you're stoned and they keep bringing you Coke and nachos,
That's a wicked time. That's
Right?
gotta be the greatest time of your life, dude.
exactly. So we all, like, the 7 of us, these heavily geared guys, a gnome with a camel, a human penis with a sword, 2 random looking dudes with bows, an elf.
An elven wizard who you were.
No, it was normal at the time.
Oh, this was before the bathrobe.
No, I still.
No,
had the-
you were
it was
still wearing a bathrobe.
It was
at
a
the
Hello
time.
Kitty bathrobe, yeah.
Yeah. You
And-
had
and
a
the-
Hello Kitty bathrobe. My druid, my druid had a Confederate flag bathrobe. We'll get into my druid later in the
Different
later in
campaign,
the show.
different
This is a
campaign.
totally different campaign. Mine was basically I just made sort of a badass looking rogue because I didn't know anything about D&D at the time. So
Right. So we all go against this dude in bowling. Most of us lost. The few of us that won got moderate items. Like, I think Matt was the only one who won. So he got a brutally overpowered
Yeah.
bard tool. It was like the +5 loot or something. Like,
yeah,
you
some
guaranteed
ridiculous
any
thing.
win.
And also, as Andrew described it, a saddle that is. It appears that there's something special with the saddle, or with this. Yeah, with this saddle. I was then informed that I could not put the saddle on Noah and ride Noah around.
And I was the only
like-
one,
yeah.
other than the penis, to have the strength.
And I was also told that I could not choose to ride around on the shoulders. Do penises have? Penises don't technically have shoulders, so
Well, they have the balls, so you could have just like
Yeah,
hunkered
yeah.
onto the balls.
you just hunkered onto the just hunker onto the balls of Dick Kickham there and ride off with like a sword to go fight people.
Well, I mean, if you have the core strength, just go on the shaft.
Have you done that?
No, it kind of just like
Have you done?
hug it.
You just sort of hug it
Like,
like
if you've
what,
ever
like a
seen
tr-
Wipeout,
like a big
like
tree
the
trunk?
last chance, like they go ah.
Oh, like a big like the big tree trunk thing that
Yeah.
they beat people with on Wipeout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
what I
that's
was
sort
thinking-
of
what
the
I-
strategy of how I'm supposed to mount a saddle on a human penis.
No, what I was thinking was like the core strength. You just use your legs.
Interesting.
Kind of like meditate, dig around the middle, and then have both arms around the
Oh,
flail with your
sort of
weapon.
like General Grievous style with both arms out.
But not 4, but
Well,
But what the
obviously.
penis's arms? That sounds weird. The,
What about that? Yeah, what about the? Why do we never ask? What about the penis's arms? Have you ever
There's
thought to
feelings too?
Have you ever thought to yourself, what about the penis's arms? I don't think you have. And honestly, neither have I until this exact fucking the last few minutes.
What I meant was Adam's penis's ums. That even that sounds weird.
Adam-
In the game, his penis. I'll just stop. I'll just stop.
Yeah, honestly, it's all getting clipped out anyways. Let me
All
just
right,
text
all right.
Adam and ask about his penis arms.
All right. So while he's getting that,
No.
let's go back to the game. So after we lose miserably to a stoner, ghost, and bowling, we go over and play ping pong, where our rogue and our ranger decide we're gonna rob them. So they steal their swords, their armor, and all their gear.
This was a bad decision on our part.
But they didn't notice.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so then we decided to fight these guards in ping pong. Then yeah, most of us actually won because he had weird rules for it.
Yeah,
I don't remember the math.
Andrew's ping pong rules were kind of odd, but we do end up winning.
Yeah, we got some really weird items that ended up so overpowered he had to restart the campaign because we figured out how to use them so well.
And because of the fact that I eventually turned into a vampire.
No, that's a little bit of the story.
We'll get there later. Obviously, we had to reset the campaign because we also figured out how to do things a little more legit.
But it was fun.
Oh
For a
no,
while.
God, yeah. And there were some great other moments, like the time that right after we had chosen to number one, name the man that we chose to rape and murder. We gave him a name, Sheckelstein. This was on Adam's request that we named him Sheckelstein. We pulled up to an altar in the middle of the woods for whatever reason, because that was what Andrew chose. It was an altar to Nerul, who, for those of you who don't know,
Spoopy Death.
yeah, the god of slaughter, I believe.
No, that's Arithno.
Okay, but anyways,
It's one of the gods of death.
Yeah,
Pretty,
yeah.
pretty hardcore heavy metal.
Hades
god.
type of guy.
Yeah.
Basically Hades. And he says to Adam and to me.
No, it was just Adam.
Oh well, yeah, no, it was just Adam. Sorry.
Because I tried to talk to him because
Yeah.
I was spooky necromancer guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to
yeah.
talk to you. Give me the
I wasn't that
ass-eating
evil.
man."
Yeah. I wasn't that evil at the time. But anyway, so he's talking to Adam, and he's like, I want you to be my champion. Adam, word for word, his response: eat my ass.
In which
And
Andrew responded.
He goes, okay, you roll 2 20s.
in a row.
If you roll back-to-back 20s, he eats your ass.
First roll, 20.
Without even flinching. He literally stares at Andrew, flick, 20. We're losing it by this point. Picks up the dice again, rolls 19. So close. And so Andrew decided, he said, okay. He licks it. One lick, that's it.
Well, this is 2 sessions after probably the high point of my time in the campaign and the lowest time of half the group.
Was this when you became Quispy?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so after we play ping pong and after we go bowling, we're like, these guys have a stash of magic items. Let's kill the guards and steal them. He didn't want us to have this huge cache of magic items that he hadn't thought of. So Mr. Stoner Shaggy is a level 19 wizard. So he's just friggin' destroying us.
Yeah.
Launches a fireball at me, who has 6 health. Drops me down to -9 due to lucky odds.
Oh, yeah.
And I become Quispy.
Not crispy, but Quispy with a W.
Then Matt, after seeing most of us get slaughtered, and me unconscious, burning alive, it's like, hey guys, how about we all become friends? They said okay, because of his ungodly 25 charisma.
Yeah, that
At
was
level
insane.
2!
This was ridiculous. So yeah, you're Quispy by this point.
And yeah, that's when you guys go do chest maintenance, because there's that bridge or something.
Yeah, as we talked about the roofing the Laughter Demon, we fight that. I want to get now, after all this has happened, Andrew had warned us. We had gotten a warning from Shaggy. Avoid the tall king.
I think we're skipping a part as well.
Not really.
We fight the demon.
Yeah, we fought the demon and won, but this is all just the highlight.
We still
of
have to talk about fighting the demon, where my favorite thing in all of D&D has ever happened.
Which was this?
So we're fighting the demon, and Andrew loves Dark Souls.
Yes.
So the boss fucks over whoever they want, which is always me. Every time we play with Andrew, he always goes to attack the wizard, who's
Which
able
happens to be you.
happens to be
Well,
me
I mean,
every
Most
time.
times, because
Oh.
you choose to play a wizard.
Well, I mean, in a video game, who do you try to attack first? The squishy guy that does a lot of damage? Or the tank? Who do you go for?
Yeah, it's the squishy guy.
Well,
But-
if the tank
Anyways.
is a 7-foot tall dude with a bunch of axes standing in front of the squishy dude, are you gonna try and kill the dude to get to the other dude, or are you gonna walk the opposite side of the map to try and flank them while they're trying to chase you?
Hey,
I
man,
talk to the
anyways.
big dude, say, hey, no you. And then stab the guy behind him.
Yeah, but anyway, so what? So go back into the
Alright.
story when we're fighting this demon. After he figures out he got roofied by two dudes who
So-
claiming to be chest maintenance.
So we get the chest, we open it, and he was not expecting this. He thought it was going to be a very tough fight, so he gave us the best loot possible. He gives me, the wizard, something called the Book of Vile Darkness, which is a powerful unholy relic. This is something that level 20 wizards cry over. It's like, if you had rolled one higher, you would have got the Book of Vile Darkness. And they start crying. This is something that wizards want and need. Level 2, we get it. It's like, okie dokie then.
We're like level 2, level 3 at this point. We have
So-
the Book of Vile Darkness.
So we go to sleep, and our dumbasses leave the druid, Mr. Rapey McFlair,
Yeah.
in charge of watching.
Yeah, we leave the Travelocity gnome in charge of watching.
So this demon, as soon as he gets over his time with Cosby, so after all
This is
that,
great.
he comes and goes to attack us. Laugher demons are these giant, almost like alien-looking things with giant claws that spew venom and poison. It's really scary shit. Goes directly to attack me, brings me down to -9. Again, I have no idea what's going on with Andrew in -9s. Don't want to
Yeah.
kill us, but don't want to let us live.
It's like a Jin, but with -9 instead of 4.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but anyways.
So, our druid has 2 spells left for the day, both of which could be healing spells, or could be attack spells to do like 2 damage. I have like 6 constitution, so I'm almost guaranteed to fail my con save against this poison. So they're fighting the demon. I got a few shots off before I died, almost, and is running low on health. We're up to the druid. We're up to Mr. Travelocity. He goes, I want to cast flaming sword, so I can attack better with my dagger.
Even though he's poisoned and has dispel poison or
Yeah, he has
similar
dispel
to that.
poison. And he also has a healing thing to bring me back up to health.
Correct.
He's like, no, I want
All
to
that
deal
he
an extra
should
3
use.
damage on this thing that has like 200 health. I want to do the damage. Or we're like, no, bring back the wizard who could deal the damage.
Yeah, don't. We're all screaming at this guy not to be an idiot.
He cast dispel poison on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Goes around. We end up doing a lot more damage. Matt, I think you sat there like masturbating or something. I don't know.
Basically.
I was playing Wonderwall, probably.
Yeah.
You did eventually do sonic damage to a man using Wonderwall. We'll get into
True.
that when we get into the String Cheese Town, where Adam wanted to go. Basically, I need to tell the story of Adam.
Let him finish
Can I
it.
finish mine?
Yeah. Sorry.
So we get to
continue.
my turn.
We'll get to that.
If I fail this roll, so if I get literally anything other than a perfect save, I die.
Oh, we
2
have a
sessions
video
in.
of it. We have a video of this.
I have
I'll
no
actually
idea
put it-
how she saved that. I don't know how she had the idea is like, I'm gonna save this. The first character death.
Yeah, to video it. We have the video in the chat. I'll actually, I'll pause the podcast when we get to it, and I'll actually put the video in on this video. Like, I'll overlap it in there, so that you guys can see our actual live reaction to this, to what happens here.
So I pray to a fictional evil god, and I go to roll. I literally need a nat fucking 20.
Anything less than a nat 20 and you're dead.
Roll the nat 20.
We lost it.
All 8 of us are sitting at my kitchen table. We all jump up and start screaming.
14.
I'll fuck you out of time. Okay.
Beat of Vecna, the maimed one, the god of secrets.
Holy crap!
Honestly,
Andrew's flabbergasted. He does not know what to say.
he was fuming.
And
Andrew was sitting there.
I get the line.
Yeah.
The venom splashes off your crispy bathrobe and boils. You are unaffected.
Yeah. Andrew just sits there at the head of the table for like 3 minutes. Just blank, deadpan look on his face. Just
The same look
That
as almost like a sports coach after just losing the playoffs, losing the cup
Yeah, it's the
over a bad play.
yeah. He's just going. I don't know how to respond to this. He gave that Pete Carroll Super Bowl 49 look. Like he gave a mix of Pete Carroll and Richard Sherman at Super Bowl 49 when they decide to throw it.
I think I got a picture similar to this.
Yeah.
I'll
They're just shocked, upset, but at the same time emotionless. It's a great face, and it's made even better with Andrew. But
he's the king of facial expressions.
oh god, he has the best facial expressions, especially anytime we ask him to smile for a picture, because that man cannot smile for a picture.
No, it's
He gives the rapiest look I've ever seen. Literally to the point that rapists are like, dude, that's too much. That guy is not okay.
Alright, so we go through that. We end up going.
To a ghost party.
Yes,
we did go to the ghost party.
This is while you guys were doing chest maintenance. Me and the other elves decided to go up to a ghost death day party.
Yeah, it was like a death day party.
And we already got fucked over by a bunch of ghosts. So we walk up there and like, oh, sorry. And they're like, you must give us a gift or you will die.
Chest maintenance arrives, boys. Welcome to the party.
In a bit of loot, we found an average lock. Like, this is your normal, I'm gonna protect my high school locker kind of lock. It's nothing of importance.
No.
So we give it to this ghost, and our dumbasses come up with the idea to bluff this 20-some ghosts. We don't know what level they are, we don't know what anything about them is, and we're like, we're gonna bluff them, saying this is a lock of extreme elven craftsmanship. And we pass.
Somehow.
And they give us birthday hats, which boost our intelligence and constitution. They give us
All this stuff.
cake.
That heals
Wait.
you, didn't we? No.
Yeah, it heals you back to like max health and gives you regeneration, boosts your strength. It's ungodly.
Yeah, we get
This cake.
just amazing stats from this
We
cake.
also
Ancient
got
Mama's
a
cake.
ghost. They gave us one of
Yeah,
their
we
ghosts.
did.
I
And-
started to date this ghost
He low-key fucked the ghost.
as a
And by
half.
low key, we mean he literally, like, in the middle of the campaign, is just balls deep. Full dick and balls up in the ghost.
Got ectoplasm everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, there was so much. Oh, it was not okay, the amount of ectoplasm.
So we did this. I wasn't there for the next like 2 or 3 sessions. You guys were like on some country road or some shit. Nothing.
We got into the city, right? Basically, we were this entire first part of the thing. We were in this castle, right? So we go outside. Wait, actually, no. We go to the king first.
Yeah.
So we go to the king. This the thing the stone ghost warned us about. The don't blah blah blah. The tall king, the big king, whatever. And so we go up to this this big ass king. He is literally like bigger than a giant. He's like 20 feet tall, kind of overweight, I think. Has a crown on his head. So one thing we just decided to do, I forget who decided to do it. I decided to climb the dude to try to get his crown. I think someone else tried to help me. Right?
Yeah, I think the two of you were climbing this giant to steal his crown. I think one of you tried to fuck his ear or something.
No, wait. I don't think I...
You did try to fuck his ears, didn't
No,
you?
what happened was I think I was trying to climb him, but he was like starting to wake or something, or like he was in the like half asleep
Oh,
and he
this
tried
was when I
to spat at
tried
me.
to use the ride skill on the king.
I wasn't there. Why are you looking at me?
We see this king. We've been warned about this large king. I use ride. I'm told that's not allowed. He's like 50 feet tall. This was where I used one of my favorite lines that I've ever used in Dungeons and Dragons. I stare at Andrew. I say, "Call me Piper Perry. I want to use the ride skill." I was not allowed to use the ride skill, and that is absolutely infuriating. It did lead, however, to you trying to fuck the king in the ear.
I don't think that's what specifically was happening, but that's end up what actually happened. I
Yeah.
believe I was climbing him via his head.
Yeah, okay.
I was climbing up the side of his face because he was sleeping on his back, I believe, and I managed to get up to about his ear. But then he started to kind of like, you know how in some like movies and cartoons, whatever, you try to like slap at your ear when you have an itchy ear when you sleep, right? So that happens. I successfully hold on. Then he turns onto his side and I get trapped inside his ear.
Everything in his ear. Whole body in his ear.
I'm like a 3 foot, 2.5 foot, 3 foot
Yeah.
tall,
Like a
halfling.
5-year-old. A
Yeah, but
human
it's a-
5-year-old.
Human 5-year-old, like very short.
Wearing
and he's a
nothing but a cheetah print loincloth.
And this
May
is
I
a
remind you.
50-foot giant, who I believe was later revealed to be enlarged via his crown, I think.
He was wearing a really big hat.
And I wasn't there for the entire encounter, essentially, until somehow someone managed to wake him up, and I just like, ah! No, I think I was yelling.
Oh yeah,
His
you
ear.
were screaming at the top of your lungs to try and get out.
This is the first time I'm hearing this, by the way.
Oh yeah, you weren't. Yeah, you weren't
Yeah.
there that session.
No.
God, it was hilarious because Matt is just screaming at the top of his lungs. We're doing everything we can to deal with this guy. Oh, it was awful. Continue.
See, that was that, and then we failed to explain to him what we wanted him to believe, but he was like, whatever, essentially. Like, you broke out of my jail, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, go to this town and do some shit. Or something.
Basically, yeah. Essentially, go to this town and do some stuff. We left and we go into this town.
We get outside, and there was a bunch of wolves that we
Yeah.
almost died to.
Yeah, we almost died to these wolves.
This is what happens when I'm not here, by the way.
Basically. Yeah. But anyway, aside from that, really not like there was nothing that was like super memorably.
Actually, on
funny.
the way there, after the wolf encounter,
We got
I
to
go
Sheckelstein.
back inside.
No, Sheckelstein was
No,
on
before-
the way
before
to
it's-
the castle, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And before Sheckelstein, that was on the way out of the castle.
Oh yeah, okay, it was.
Before Sheckelstein, after the wolf encounter, it was still like very like, I think it was like in the nighttime when
Yeah.
she attacked. I was like, hey, well, actually no, I was enjoying the wolf encounter. I was like, hey, wait 1 second, I got a friend inside. I go inside, go upstairs, and get the druid
Get your
ghost.
big titty ghost GF out here.
Wait, I think we're missing the whole ghost fight.
No,
The owl.
we fought and beat the owl.
Well,
We almost died. Like we almost died, but whatever. It wasn't like there's nothing hilarious.
and
about
then
that,
the
you know what
owl's
I mean?
wife came and was like, "Where are you?"
Oh
that
yeah.
was the funeral to that owl, but I think that was slightly
It was
later.
like his birthday or something.
yeah. It was
Their
something.
anniversary.
But
The
anyway,
anniversary.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but anyway, so you go and get your your girlfriend. Your
I
ghost.
convinced her to come with us, but she came with us reluctantly. I
Yeah,
believe.
basically. But anyway, so we leave. We get past this. We go kill Sheckelstein. Adam picks up his raped and murdered body, and picks him up and shoves him down the dick hole that is on his forehead, or on the top of his head, which is also his mouth, and consumes him.
Then
We
also
then go
tries
through-
to consume you,
He did. I was having terrible rolls that session.
and the session after that, and after that.
After that.
I know.
But like until like
until
January.
the second until our second campaign, I was having pretty bad rolls.
No, you were gonna have bad rolls then until mine.
Yeah, fair enough. I was having some bad. Anyways, this is all besides the point. I roll, and I get away from it, and that's where I go. First good roll I've had this whole campaign, and it's so I'm not put in Adam's mouth because he was like, I'm gonna eat him, and he tries to consume me. Keep in mind, Dick Kickham was listed as 5 feet 9 inches tall. My character was listed as 6 feet 2 inches tall. Obviously significantly taller. Adam didn't care. He was still going to try and consume me to get my strength. I didn't have a lot of strength. I had like 14. But anyways,
Okay, so we get into the
Yeah.
town,
and
so we go to the blacksmith, and
yeah,
we
do
go and do a
run
whole bunch of
we
stuff.
run some errands basically. And in this town is this woman who we named String Cheese because that was how Andrew's drawing. Instead of letting his super talented artist girlfriend draw, Andrew decided to draw, and we named the woman that he drew String Cheese because that's exactly what she looked like, was the string cheese lady.
Yeah, you know that when you go to get the string cheese, so the craft string cheese, and
Yeah.
one of the suggested styles in which you kind of split it apart, that the human-looking one,
Yeah.
that's
what it looked
exactly
like.
what it was.
This also led to a conversation between Adam and I.
and
We're-
I think everyone else was in there.
You guys were sort of staring at the autism coming out of our mouths. So Adam goes, I'm gonna impregnate her. I go, Adam, you're not gonna impregnate String Cheese. He goes, no. Hear me out, dude. I'm going to impregnate String Cheese, go out to sea in my boat. He didn't have a boat at the time. He just figured he was gonna have a boat. He goes, I'm gonna go out to sea in my boat, then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna impregnate every woman in the town, keep doing that for like 25 years, and by the time I come back, I will have an army of children, and I will take over the world. And I said, Adam, you can't impregnate every woman you see, to which he said, watch me, and attempted to rape me.
Nobody stopped him, by the way. He had to roll his way out.
Yeah,
of it.
I rolled my way out of it. And this led, yeah.
I think the happiest moment of this campaign is while this rape was going on, our fighter, our 6'8",
Goes into the forest.
6'8" half-orc wielding an orcish double axe, which is like one of those big, Viking double axes. Imagine one taped to the other, so it's double-ended, who's wearing armor, which is meant to look like a demon. He runs out into the forest to
Sees
random
animals screeching at them, be my friend, until he finally gets a puppy.
It took like 7 tries.
It literally took forever, and Andrew was finally benevolent enough to go, here's a damn puppy. Stop screaming at animals to be your friend.
This 7-foot-tall, gargantuan, evil monster devoted to slaughter picks up a little puppy
has
and
a
goes,
tiny puppy.
"You my friend."
Yeah, he just walks around with this tiny little puppy, which looks even tinier in his massive orcish hands.
Puppy not food. Puppy friend.
Oh, it was great. It was hilarious. That was basically the extent of Andrew's campaign, honestly, because like
No, then we got the
outside of it, it was really just kind of like other, standard D&D stuff rather than like the hilarious bullshit.
Well, then
we got
you
up to.
died to a vampire. We bring your body back. String Cheese ends up being a high priest to Nerul, who ate our swashbuckler's ass, if you don't remember.
Yeah. Oh no.
Then I bring you
Tasted.
back.
He tasted it.
Then I
It
bring
was
you
a
back
lick.
as a vampire under my control, because
Yeah.
Spoopy Necromancer.
Yes, this got insane.
Oh yeah, the way he got killed by a vampire was where he went into a cave essentially alone just to check something out and got trapped inside the cave, which was like a living
It was like
thing.
a purple worm. It was like something. Is a game ender, a purple worm. Is the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob,
Basically.
but
So-
a lot more angry.
Yeah. Basically. So I die, I become a vampire, we come back, and then we kind of had to put it on hiatus because Andrew didn't really have time to DM because he's in a notoriously difficult program of engineering at the University of Waterloo.
It has the highest suicide rate out
Yes.
of any program on Earth.
They have Kill Week for a reason. But anyway, so Andrew, doing fine. He didn't kill himself, thankfully.
Yes.
Don't kill yourselves, kids.
It's not good for your health.
Yeah, but anyways, so we had to go on hiatus for a little while as far as Andrew DMing. He had time to play, but he just, because DMing is a much more intensive type of thing, he didn't really have time to do so, so he decided, let's put this on the shelf until I'm able to, get back to having enough time to DM. So we decided, okay, Matt, you're going to DM the next campaign. And it was a smaller group this time because some people didn't really have time to get out all the time.
And
And
it was
we,
school.
Yeah,
It was
school
about-
and all that
It was
stuff.
about half the size.
Yeah.
Basically, we had... So,
What,
Matt was
4 or 5 people?
Matt was DMing. Myself, Noah, our ranger, and Andrew was playing.
And eventually my girlfriend.
Yes.
And then
Eventually
the Ranger's
Meg.
girlfriend
Yeah.
for like half an hour.
She wasn't really playing. She was sort of there.
Well, she had her own character, but it was
But
more
never
so-
really got... Never
It was
got in.
more so the
Didn't have
ranger
time, and now
Yeah.
because they...
It was
Now because
it's
of,
real
you know...
complex stuff. Let's not go
Yeah,
into that.
we're gonna
Whatever.
totally we're gonna skip that part. But I wanted to describe our characters. So I'll start with Noah's because yours was pretty standard. You were a halfling rogue who threw a whole bunch of things.
So halflings get a +1 to throwing.
Mhm.
It's pretty fun, and also they had an expansion prestige class.
Yeah.
Which was a master thrower. You really didn't need that if you built it right.
No, but you chose to take it anyways.
No, I
Oh,
ended,
no.
Up, I ended up taking fighter so I could
Oh,
throw
right.
literally anything on God's green earth.
So, but basically, you just threw a whole bunch of things.
Threw a whole bunch of stuff,
Fairly
dealt
yeah.
ungodly damage.
But for the most part, you were
Fairly regular character.
fairly regular character. Then we'll get into. I'll save mine for a little later.
Next up was Andrew.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll mention our new. Well, he became an assassin. He made our ranger from the first campaign made it a
Specifically a tome assassin.
made a
One of
tome
those weird
assassin.
homebrew kind of
It was sort of weird. Yeah, it was weird. Again, elf playing real straight up. Whatever. Besides the point. So
It's
then
like
we'll get
his-
into.
his-
So again,
I'll explain it a little bit more. A tome assassin is kind of like a rogue, but minus the trapping ability, I think.
yeah.
But with a slightly stronger sneak attack. Well, not slightly stronger.
It
It
was
is
different. Like,
Yeah.
There's actually an assassin class in 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
whereas it follows a similar mechanic where if you study them for a round,
Yeah.
you kill them. It's flat out, you kill them.
Yeah.
Unless they pass a fortitude, like something called a coup de grace. His was way stupider. It was just a huge sneak attack.
Yeah. Real stupid, but that's.
He also had access to 3 schools of magic. It
Yeah.
was illusion, divination,
Necromancy.
and necromancy. Yeah.
It was real spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Basically the Dark Brotherhood.
Essentially, yeah. But then we'll get into Andrew's character,
It was,
who was named, I swear to God, Master Chef, who was, as Andrew put it, a chef, who cooked nothing but spaghetti. Yeah. He was a dwarf, or a dwarf, as he originally pronounced it to us.
DORF.
D-O-R-F. Yeah, dwarf, who wore nothing but a potato sack and, based on the artist's rendition, a pot on his head. Andrew was not wanting the pot on his head, but he had a pot on his head because that was how his girlfriend drew it. And so he was a fat dwarf who wore nothing but a potato sack with the B emoji for the P, for the P in potatoes, and a pot on his head.
By the way, these potatoes were boneless.
Boneless potatoes.
Alright,
First
and-
of all, we need a boneless potatoes, and
So
now we'll
this-
get into
this monk.
Yeah.
This Andrew.
He was a monk.
had-
He was technically a monk, despite his request to be a chef.
He had ungodly constitution. He rolled perfect, dwarven constitution. Every magical item he
He
had.
has like a 30 con.
30 constitution. Perfect human constitution is 18. So if you're looking at like endurance runners or like brutal alcoholics who can drink a 2-4 like it's nothing, that's extreme constitution. He had 30. That's like an elephant level metabolism for drugs. has like a blue whale's heart.
Yeah.
This is
It's insane.
Inhuman.
Correct. And
well, he's
so
not human. He
he is a dwarf. He is a dwarf. But anyways,
He was able
yeah.
to use his constitution instead of his strength because of a funky feat.
Andrew's got some funky feet.
Later on, we
Seen
end
that
up
man
having
dance?
a fight, and the enemies were on top of these two large pillars, like these Greek Corinthian marble pillars.
Right.
He tapped one with his palm, and it exploded from his fat ass and killed all of them.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. So I'll get into my character. My character was a drow. A drow is basically a dark elf, a Dunmer from Skyrim.
It was a black dude.
I created my character to be a Dunmer from Skyrim because that was my other most played RPG. And when I make a mage in that game, I pick dark elves, the Dunmer. So that was what I created. I got an animal companion, Fenrir, the wolf.
Real original, by the way.
Real original. I basically needed to create a name on the spot, so that was the first name that came to mind. He ended up being super badass, had all this awesome flaming armor and stuff, but that's besides the point. My character was a druid, and in our little group, we've decided that all our magic wielders wear bathrobes. Outside of the Travelocity Gnome, all of our magic wielders wear bathrobes. I chose that I was like... I basically described my character as a man, as a black dude, like a tall, buff black dude with dreads, wearing clout goggles, carrying a rake, which he uses to beat people with, wearing nothing but a Confederate flag bathrobe and flip-flops. With my wolf who walks around literally on fire
With spiked armor.
with spiked armor. He's wolf awesome. My wolf was awesome. Literally did flame damage with his bite. Great dog.
So
10 out of 10, super good boy.
Being the dumbasses that we are, Matt had to deal with us constantly saying, "Oh, who's better? Who would win in a fight?" Like we had arguments about this.
Walls of
hour-long.
text issues in our chat.
Between me and Andrew, we're both big math guys. We were doing the math, like your average damage versus my average
Oh, it was
damage
awful.
percentiles. Like, it was disgusting the amount of work we put into this. And Matt, wanting to see this come to fruition, made like a round robin, like a
Like a
fight to the
tournament.
death,
Yeah,
a tournament.
Tournament.
And
I was like, Merry Christmas, have it. Actually,
Yeah.
no, that was
It was-
something else.
that was our
this was like October.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was our Halloween special.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yes.
So the
our
first
spooky, scary
round
skeletons.
was me versus Curtis. So my sneaky rogue versus his drow. We don't have video, but you can see him clam up like he's just going through a flashback right now.
It's awful.
So
I
it was
hate
his
I hate
druid.
this. 'Cause
Druids
I
are-
was so just for context, I got some bullshit pulled on me where I was told, "No, you're not allowed to use the wolf." Who
No, you had to flip a coin.
I had to
Heads
flip
was
a coin.
wolf, tails
yeah,
was you.
I had to only use either my drow or my wolf
'Cause
I wasn't
my-
allowed to use both, which I was fuming about because
Well, my train of thought was together you're too overpowered, so one or the other.
Because that was the thing is together I would have wrecked all of you without even
Well, not
flinching.
Andrew.
With the wolf and my drow, I basically
No,
even still, but it would have been extremely close between Andrew and I. But basically, I wreck you guys if I got both of them, so I get why it was fair, but it definitely not
you wouldn't
fun.
have wrecked me because plus fucking 43 to hide.
Yeah,
So
you
if you're
did
not
have a
familiar
plus
with Dungeons and
43.
Dragons. You have to roll a 20-sided die. That number result is modified by skills or
All that.
advantage, disadvantage, all these things.
You had
It goes up to 20. 20 is godly. With mods like DC 30, which is a difficulty. DC 30 is like you're a bard and you're busking. If you roll a 1, you're bad. They kick you out, they throw tomatoes at you. If you roll a 30, you're essentially Ed Sheeran.
Okay, try
You get a concert, you
Yeah.
become a god, like it's
I don't know why you picked Ed Sheeran of
Well,
all
he was a-
possible musical artists to have
he was
chosen.
a busker in London.
Oh, I don't know anything about Ed
I
Sheeran.
heard
Justin
it on Top
Bieber.
Gear.
Justin Bieber.
I prefer Ed Sheeran, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, Ed Sheeran's probably better, but anyways.
So with plus 42, I don't give a fuck. As long as it wasn't a 1, I was invisible. Or a hat.
You did constantly get on top of Andrew as like basically Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome's cowboy hat.
Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, basically that's honestly the best way I can describe it. Was you were Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome's cowboy hat on top of Andrew.
Essentially, yes, except for I was a halfling, so it was only a slightly taller hat than a normal cowboy hat.
No, it was the full Monty of the hat.
Alright, so back to our fight. Me versus Curtis. Druids are not known for their offensive spells, so he was doing his best to try and survive the onslaught of invisible bullshit I was able to pull.
Yeah.
As being able to sneak and throw these giant overpowered weapons.
Yeah.
Constantly to hit 95% of the time. And eventually he died.
Eventually, I did end up losing.
Also-
Yeah. Then I was able to fight using. Did I?
It was the wolf.
I
against
used the. Yeah.
Brando.
So I used the wolf. So I used my wolf to fight the assassin, and I'm losing, pretty bad. And I'm like, God damn it, this is bullshit. I'm fucking pissed, right? I'm like, this is
So
ridiculous.
you were winning at the start.
I was winning at the
You were
start, but
winning
then
at
a
the
whole
start.
bunch of bullshit got pulled.
He casts
Yeah.
this huge slew of spells,
Yeah.
which means that, like, it's a 1 in 6 chance with one spell,
Yeah,
then
'cause
it's
he-
a 10%
He had
chance.
mirages and all this type of
he has
ridiculous
Mirrors and
shit.
rainbows.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was
he
essentially
basically
Elton John's dressing room.
basically, and then he literally like basically just if Pennywise the clown like nutted on your face.
And then you took some LSD.
Yeah, if you were high on LSD and then Pennywise the clown nutted on your face was one of his spells basically. So just a terrible time as you can well imagine. So I'm losing. So I'm
So
losing.
he was
bad.
0-2 at the...
No, I was.
Yeah, you were
he-
0-2 at the end of that match.
No, because remember, I'm losing pretty bad.
No, he,
and
hit,
then
he had a lucky hit. remember?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I get this lucky hit, come back from nothing, get this roll, get this massive comeback, and end up winning. And I have never seen him so mad in my life. It was amazing.
Alright, so we were all talking about this, like what was it, five of us at
Yeah.
the time?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. We were all talking in our group chat, and the final one was Curtis. Obviously, would probably be in last because druids don't have offensive spells.
Yeah. No, I was.
I was going to be pretty low because I had no health. Like,
Yeah.
if it went up close, I would have died. Then it was going to be a huge fight between our monk Andrew, who is ungodly health, like at level 5, over 100 health.
Yeah. It got crazy.
Extreme damage. Like, he power built the shit out of this.
He did a great job. I'll say that. He
I-
really did do a great job building his monk.
He was a great player.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it
I
was-
think that it's just because Andrew is ridiculously smart. So
he's getting paid to do engineering.
yeah, literally. Like yeah, this dude is freakishly smart. So
And then
Yeah.
it was him versus the assassin. That was a big thing. I think the final scoreboard going into the finals, like their final match, like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
like game ender,
yeah,
was the assassin, who was one of the favorite to win, was
he was
0-3.
basically our pick to win it all. Had lost every match. I was at 1-2.
I was 2-1.
Yeah, I was.
Andrew
yeah.
was undefeated.
I was 1-2, almost having upset Andrew. I was so close. I had like, he had like 4 health by the time my wolf was done
No.
fighting him.
No, that was against me. He did a flawless victory against your wolf.
Oh yeah,
because
did.
he had
because he pulled. Yeah, right.
because he had the
okay.
flurry of blows just and pop, pop,
Yeah,
pop,
yeah,
pop.
yeah, yeah. He hit like 1,000,000 shots, right on his
Yeah,
like
so-
first thing. Yeah. Okay.
So the first round was me versus Curtis. Second one was Assassin versus Curtis. Then it was Assassin versus Andrew, which Andrew won by going through the bullshit, rolling lucky, and boom, knocking the dude's head off.
Yeah, he punches this man's head clean off.
Then it was Andrew versus Curtis. Curtis's wolf.
Yeah.
as you know,
Lost.
got flawless victory, just knocked the shit out of this wolf.
Yeah, it was really bad. Even though my wolf had like 110 health, it really was. It was brutal.
He rolled really high that thing.
He did. He had an obnoxious amount of crits.
And
But-
his
yeah.
basic plus to hit was like plus 12 or
Yeah,
was
it got
insane.
nuts. But obviously,
then-
so that ends up happening.
It was me versus the assassin, which was a really tough fight because we were both invisible.
Yeah.
He actually cast invisibility. I just crouched. Mine was better. We laugh at him.
Plus, he didn't have the best move silently either, I don't think.
No, and
so-
it ended up. It ends up.
I end
that
up hearing him with a plus,
Yeah.
like one off from the check. So I was able to barely discern where he's from, and I just keep launching my spear, my daggers,
Yeah.
my
All these
everything
things.
that I have. At him.
At the
And I'm
speed.
slowly whittling down his health. And then I think he barely catches a glimpse of one of my daggers coming back from the returning.
You did just. And
So he's able to kind of figure it out, so he goes closer, and I just keep hitting him and keep hitting him. Gets him down to, what is it, like 4 health, and he finally is able to land a blow. For minimum
Basically.
damage.
Yeah, but eventually
It was
you beat
sad.
it. You eventually. You
was-
ended
it
up
was-
winning the tournament, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, so you end up winning this tournament.
Well,
I just want to
Andrew
keep.
did beat
I just
me
want to keep
in
powering
our
through the.
match.
Yeah, I kind of want to keep powering through the rest of the stories.
Basically,
because we're coming up on
Yeah, I
a
chained
little
him
over
up,
an hour, 10
and
minutes.
then
it's fine, just keep
first
on.
round,
Yeah.
chained him up.
Yeah.
He tore my throat out. It was really sad.
Yeah.
Then the next round, chained him up, kicked him over, and cut his head off.
Yes.
Won a
And-
cold dagger, named her Katy Perry because she's hot and she's cold.
Yes.
Also,
Very hot.
quick note. This is all on my
I love you,
campaign,
Katy
right?
Perry.
Just a quick thing. If you ever want to start a D&D campaign, don't allow your characters to enchant their items for other than whatever is already enchanted on said items.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
That fucked me over. And
got
also,
broken.
don't allow
Don't get
monopolies.
Yeah, because we did
okay,
end up
that-
becoming businessmen, and you owned 17 docks.
And also, don't shower
it
them in
ended up
money.
being 50. 50,
yeah.
a whole bunch of boats, like a
I
quarter of a
owned some.
city.
Yeah, I owned some boats. We end up. So by the end of this campaign, a few of the sessions ended up being Noah and myself, because of whatever other reasons, schooling, work, all that type of stuff. So we end up going. Noah and I eventually took over a giant fortress by murdering a man on the toilet, which we dubbed the coup de grace. We murdered a man while he was on the toilet,
And
and eventually take over this giant fortress, build ourselves a castle. And this is an island inhabited by drow. Being a drow, I get these guys all on our team. We're friggin' rolling, right? And then it ends up that Noah owns 50 docks in the harbor. We both own some boats. We both own stores. We're just monster businessmen in this port city, right? And basically, it ends up that we decided to blow up another. Like, we basically became terrorists at one point when we decided to blow up that dude's boat.
no, it's because that boat had a whole bunch of gunpowder on it. It was going to blow up the harbor. So
Oh,
I,
yeah.
So I stole half the gunpowder to put
Right.
in my warehouse from one of my dogs.
Yeah, and then we blew it
I
up.
became a terrorist.
Right, then we blew. Yeah, because then we blew it up. Oh, it was
So,
great.
I think
So
my
this
favorite
was
part of
yeah,
one of my favorite parts of this one of our somewhat solo sessions
yeah.
is he finally learns wild shape. So he transforms into any animal.
Well,
of
I had
medium
always
or large
had
size.
wild shape, but now I was getting large wild shape.
So he wanted the strength bonus from being like a bison.
Yeah, I
And
became
he
a
wants to-
buffalo.
He wants to bust down this door to surprise, have this huge cinematic scene.
Yeah, it was supposed to
He
be
fails
super
a
badass.
strength check with a +8 from this bison
Yeah.
to bust down a wooden door. This fat ass in a potato sack goes, watch this.
Kicks down the rest of the wall. We bust in.
It takes
on
down the
this-
whole building.
Yeah, we bust in on this one naked man huddled in a corner. This was so we're coming in thinking, dude, this is gonna be a badass fight scene. I'm gonna turn into a buffalo, ram down the side of this wall. Noah and our assassin are gonna kick down the other door. We're gonna come flying in, guns a-blazing. This is gonna be a nuts battle.
It's
This
just the
tubby dwarf in a potato sack breaks the whole damn building.
and it's
and
the
then-
bellhop.
And it turns out, yeah, literally to be just the bellhop. This naked, poor, sad, scared man huddled up, staring at what I presume to be an incredible array of people. Because we have a midget throwing things constantly. This fairly boring looking elf. A buffalo.
With a wolf on it.
With a wolf on top of the buffalo. The wolf is literally on fire. And a man basically the size of a fat middle schooler with a pot on his head in a potato sack.
And a red-headed sorcerer that was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, oh right, and we had a ginger sorcerer with us. She was joined and played by Matt, like a little character that we picked up on the side. Basically just behind Noah and our assassin, just going, what the fuck is going on with these guys? This is not what I signed up for.
This is the second half of the campaign.
I can't even imagine
The
what that
first
looks
half-
like.
We had to work for this evil wizard
Yeah.
in secret. And to do this, we were hired by this house of elves. Kind of like,
They didn't like me because I was black.
yeah. So it was like a political party of elves. They like,
The
one of the-
Republicans.
like, y'all watch
Can I
Game
say
of
that?
Thrones.
Can I
These
say
were like
that?
the House
Go ahead.
Greyjoy kind of thing. Like one of the big houses of this country. Like,
Yeah.
the House Fjarlin. Bunch of elves. And really funny. We're going to put this info through, but they won't let Curtis in because he's black.
Yes. Even though I'm still an elf, they decide
And a member of this party who's
who
proven
are
very useful.
super badass. And I've been doing some badass shit with with this awesome wolf. No, still not cool.
They allowed the halfling in, but not the draft.
Well,
Or
I
the
did
dw-
speak Elven.
Yes, or
You
the
didn't
dwarf.
speak Elven.
Yes, I did.
You spoke Undercommon. You didn't speak Elven.
Right, and they also wouldn't let the dwarf in. Which, to be fair,
well, the dwarf
I
was
wouldn't let
drinking in the bar.
I wouldn't let the dwarf in my house either.
So the funniest thing of that session, I will admit, was when Curtis was not allowed in, and he kept saying, "Let me in. Roll diplomacy, try to get in," and you failed.
Yeah.
And Andrew said, "I'll roll for you."
We don't trust Andrew because most of his standard speech was going to be roll, and no matter what he rolled, unless it was a 20, he basically would sit on the ground, shit himself, and kind of express words.
Mostly using the words spaghetti, ravioli, and rotini.
Correct.
Ravioli,
He would-
ravioli, show me the entrance only.
Basically, he would come up to somebody, place a plate of spaghetti above his head, sit down, shit his pants, and say the words, spaghetti. And that was his form of communication. He goes, I'll roll diplomacy for you. I go, Andrew, you know what, dude? It can't get really worse. It's not like they can kick me out. They're not letting me in anyways.
Rolls a 20.
Rolls a 20. We described it as he literally transformed into Barack Obama and gave a heartwarming speech as to why I should be let in. I was subsequently let in.
And then he teleports back into the bar where he's getting shit-faced for more strength.
Oh, another thing.
This was
Speaking of Andrew, there was this one time. You guys, I set them up against this. Basically, what it essentially came down to was a underworld god, essentially.
Yes.
He just what that
We
commonly
threw a hat at him and killed him.
what essentially happened?
No, he didn't kill him.
No, you didn't.
No, it was like throwing something at God.
Oh, right.
And also, this is kind of spoilers for because we still technically haven't finished this. We've got like one session left to go, but what Andrew did was what a culmination of the first part of the story was that it was revealed that this person was behind a thing to overtake the city. So we go confront this dude, right? This big old god person. The Lord of Ice, Belashira. Andrew just goes up, like, hey, spaghetti. And it was like,
Was this the lobster spaghetti? Because there was a point.
No, I think we're missing points here.
Because there was a point in the campaign where I, as the druid, literally walked up to a bunch of lobsters with a pot and said,
no, that was later.
"Get in the pot."
That was way later. When we
Okay.
hit the port city.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
that makes
So-
sense now.
We're confronting this boss, this god, and all of us players are thinking, ooh, we're gonna have a huge boss fight. The guy we just fought, this evil wizard, was just a mini boss.
Nope.
No, so we try and someone yells out, we've defeated your general. Your army is lost. We win. Haha. He's like, show me. So Andrew, our monk, who has this huge move speed, his Doug Dimmadome hat.
Yes.
We run over, we grab the corpse of this human male, go over, and I throw the corpse at him. So imagine a toddler sitting on top of a middle schooler who's holding the corpse.
Of a fully grown adult human being.
Like, imagine your grandpa, like a great grandpa, this decrepit old man, and a midget who's disguised as a hat throws it at God.
This is
Hits
what
him
we were
straight
doing.
in the face. That's what happened.
Yeah, it was
And he
great.
goes, well then.
Okay. I don't know how
And
to
then the
respond
monk
to
goes,
this.
I give you spaghetti to go home. And he makes such good spaghetti that this god goes, spaghetti, and goes home.
It was incredible. This is how we defeated Belashira. Absolutely the most ridiculous shit in the world. But this is what we did.
Belashira's only goal in existence is to destroy the world. And he's like, you know what?
This is some really good. He's like, this has got some excellent notes. This is a really well balanced sauce. And honestly, I'm not even that mad at you anymore. So you know what? I guess I will go home. It's like, what? And this eventually led to Andrew being trained by Gordon Ramsay
to make spaghetti.
to make spaghetti. Led to you becoming the director of the FBI.
You were a nurse.
I basically had to deal with this racist old cleric who has now inspired my next character, Father Jackson. Who
And then-
basically is going to be a very large old black preacher. Oh, it's gonna be a good time.
And then our other character, the assassin. You'd think, oh, he'd fit well with the other director of the FBI. Sneaky, can kill people.
No.
Nah, he's
We
a
made him
librarian. Not even the good librarian.
No, Mr. Magic Bookman
Junior.
He basically was sent to Weenie Hut Juniors.
You know when you're in college and you're like, yeah, I'll work in the school library and, get a little bit of extra money? He was that guy. He's the dude sitting at the desk like, you're 3 days late on your encyclopedia, John.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fine of 35 cents, so I need you to pay that.
This was the reward.
As he pushes up his freaking Coke bottle glasses.
This was the
excuse me.
reward for the assassin who just helped save the city and fight a god.
Yeah, this is great. And I'm just sitting there like, honestly, I'm cool with it. Like, I was cool with being a nurse for a little while, because it was like,
No.
whatever. I did eventually become more than that, because there really wasn't much for me to sort of do as a druid, unfortunately.
Still to this day, he does not know what the role of Mr. Magic Bookman Jr. is.
Which
every
is
time
great.
he asks, everyone's just Mr. Magic Bookman Jr.
Yeah, what do you...
He does not
we
know
literally have
he is
all-
an intern. He does not know.
No. And we basically all, like, we had just a totally non-verbal agreement of, we're just never gonna tell him. We didn't just, it never was discussed. There was never any agreement made. It just sort of happened that we're all just like, you're Mr. Magic Bookman Jr., what do you mean? Isn't it obvious? Everybody knows what that is. It's great.
Even Andrew, who does not pick up on social cues,
No, Andrew-
even if you tell him about these social cues, even he's like, Magic Bookman Jr.
Yeah, literally.
Have some
It's-
spaghetti, Mr. Magic
Oh,
Bookman
it's so
Jr.
good because Andrew. Yeah, no, Andrew is our friend. Everybody has an Andrew where it's that friend that you couldn't do without. Like we couldn't. Our crew would not be the same without Andrew. And so with it, like, but at the same time, he is so incredibly, like, ridiculously socially inept.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And so he just he doesn't pick up on social cues.
But that's
I'll
the one he picked up on.
I want to tell this one story. So Adam and myself, as well as Adam's girlfriend and one of my other super close friends, Surya, we were all doing this. We were doing this like this extracurricular when we were in high school, and we convinced Andrew to join. It's this, political simulation. I'm a political science major, so this is right down my alley. But anyways, we're choosing to do this, and Andrew's role for us was to be the Minister of Finance. And so I look to Andrew and I go, "Hey, buddy," I say this in front of everybody. I'm like, "Buddy, if you're going to be the Minister of Finance, you better dress like the Monopoly Man. I'm talking top hat and all this." You guys haven't heard this story, have you?
I believe we have. I have. at
Okay.
least.
And so,
Wait, I was in class with Andrew when he showed up.
this was no, because this was we went to
No, he was
UW
at my house afterwards.
This was after, yeah. So we all got to pick him up. So we pick everybody up, because we're all we're carpooling, of course. And so we go to pick up Andrew, and this man is wearing a goddamn top hat as he walks into our, gets in the car, actually has a top hat. I don't know where the hell he found a top hat. I don't know what store sells top hats.
Topu's Pizza, obviously.
Yeah, this was literally because this isn't this was 2016, okay? This is not this is not Victorian England. Top hats are not easily available. I don't know where this man went. And so we're all like, "Andrew, come on, really? What's with the top?" We're like, "What's with the top hat?" He's like, you told me to wear a top hat, Curtis. I don't get it." I'm like, "Dude, it was sarcastic." I'm like, "We're being sarcastic." I'm like, "I was being sarcastic." He goes, "Oh, you gotta tell me that." That's how
True.
poor he is at picking up social cues.
It's like-
is that he couldn't tell it was sarcasm when I told him to wear a damn top hat.
You guys know the show Big Bang
Yeah,
Theory?
Sheldon.
He's Sheldon.
He
I'm pretty
basically
sure he
is.
even has a spot somewhere.
It's true. He had a spot at my old place. It was
Yeah,
the
he
floor
did.
in front of my TV.
Yeah.
Where after he would go on runs, he'd show up to my place,
Covered
eat
in
cup
sweat.
of noodles,
Yeah.
and then sit down on that floor
Oh.
and massage his feet while talking about math.
That's such a gross thought, honestly.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
You really do.
So that's basically one of the greatest stories I've ever had with Andrew.
Also, speaking of
And
Andrew,
this did also lead into, on our way home from that, from the first day of that event. So Adam has some of the worst farts in the world. They're awful, and it led to one of my favorite lines of all time, and also to Surya, who was driving, almost killing us by slamming us into a median. We didn't end up crashing. We damn near crashed from my comment. So we're driving on the highway, going about 60, so 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, whatever, right around there, right? And we're driving back to we were driving back to get Adam's lactose intolerant ass some ice cream from Dairy Queen. Because this is what my boy Adam decides to do. But we're driving back. He rips ass incredibly loudly, and it freaking
Well, it
stinks.
would have been quieter with the rapier in there.
It would have been, but he then reaches across and locks all the windows because he can reach across. Because Surya just has a Corolla, right? That's the car we were taking. Reaches across, locks all the windows, so we can't roll them down. Andrew looks across at me and at Adam, and because I'm sitting in the back passenger seat, Adam in the passenger seat. He looks to the two of us. He goes, "Well, I can hold my breath for 3 minutes wearing a damn top hat." He begins to hold his breath, and I go, "Andrew, you don't have the brain cells to spare," which led to Surya crying while laughing to the point of swerving around the highway, almost slamming into a median. because of this. Finally, she unlocks the damn windows. Yeah. This is what happens. It's gonna be insane.
Speaking of Andrew, I have a small story. It's not as funny, but it's
That's
still an Andrew story nonetheless. Me and Andrew, we were on the wrestling team at high school together, right? And also, there was a female volleyball team on the school team.
This was the greatest. This was the greatest because I remember the. Oh, I remember
So-
I'll tell my story after that goes with it.
So, at the end of the retrospective seasons, we both the volleyball team and the wrestling team are on the at the same time, right? So, at the end of the winter season, as it's called, the wrestling coach and the volleyball coach were like, "Hey, let's have a little match between the two of us
At volleyball.
at volleyball, right?" And also keep in mind, I forgot to tell this: the women's volleyball team, the senior volleyball team,
Lost
sucked,
every game.
Sucked ass.
Lost
Okay,
every set.
I think they won like one.
But no. They lost every single set. I remember that. It was hilarious.
But anyways,
So anyways, yeah.
we go into this match, right? End of the season, everything's done. We go for this match. The wrestling team won.
Yeah.
Beat the volleyball team in
So-
the one game.
Yeah, and
But
so
wait, I still got stuff.
Oh,
I still
yeah.
got stuff. So because of that, the volleyball coach has to buy a round of nachos for everyone in on both teams, both coaches, right? The coaches, so the volleyball coach buys nachos. So we all go to Jack Astor's, which is down by the mall, in the mall actually, and Andrew's
Oh,
there.
this was when Andrew started doing logs on the table.
Yeah. Andrew did not order a goddamn thing. He just ate some of the nachos
And did
and drew math on the table of the place, which was covered in a bunch of the writing paper that
It's like butcher paper, and you get crayons for your kids
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Or your Andrews.
So he just does math the entire time. I'm just trying to hold a conversation with him, and he's like, "1 sec, math.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Are you doing your homework?"
No.
Yes.
He wasn't. I don't. Was
I know
he
it.
doing his homework?
I
Or
thought-
was he just doing
At
it
this
for
point,
fun?
we weren't on logs.
Yeah, so he was just doing it for fun. And he comes up to me. I hate math. I'm bad at math. And he goes, "Curtis, you want to hear about logs?" No, Andrew, I don't want to hear about your. I don't want to hear about.
We were
logs.
also in biology together. He always berated Addie about doing logs.
And to the point. And he also in that. Well, you know what? I'll finish the story about the volleyball team losing to the wrestling team real quick because so Suri and I had history together. We had a history class together. And right after she lost, I of course find this out immediately because we're all super close friends. And I was standing in our history class. I got there earlier than she did because I didn't have to go as far. So I'm getting there and I go, "Oh wait." Everybody else is there just as she's walking in. And I have written on this piece of paper a giant letter L. She walks in, I pull it up, and I go, "Surya, this is yours. I believe this is yours." I go, "I'm pretty sure." I go, "Surya, I think this is yours. I need you to hold on to it." It's an L. For context, I'm 6'2". Surya's about 5'3".
I said 5'2".
5'2", 5'3". Reaches up and slaps the shit out of me. It was. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Oh, it was great. So that was that story. Was that was a really awesome story. That was actually that was one of my funnier moments. I think was the L. But then, you guys want to tell a story of Andrew being banned from me? I can't even finish that. The time that Andrew was banned because of cooking broccoli
Okay,
with
alright.
his back.
Okay. Alright, so we were in functions class, advanced functions, grade 12 math, and he sat front center row. He was always arguing with the teacher, correcting her work.
He's that guy
He was
without
like-
realizing that he's that guy because he doesn't mean to be an asshole.
It got to the point where he missed one day of class for like an extracurricular or a conference, and she forgot the answer to one of her own questions.
This was the same day that he's wearing the top hat.
Yeah, so she forgets the answer to the question and has to figure it out, and she gets the question wrong. And she turns around and is like, "Oh my god, I got this question wrong. Do not tell Andrew."
Immediately, you text Andrew.
I did, and he called, and we shamed the teacher.
Yeah.
It was great. So he sat front center row, and he would run like 3-4K every morning
Yeah.
to class. And in his backpack were like 8 sheets of paper,
Yeah, and
half
a-
a pencil,
And a Tupperware container full
of raw broccoli,
broccoli.
like 2 or 3 heads of broccoli.
This dude would get so sweaty and gross that he would cook the broccoli with his back sweat.
It was
and
like steamed broccoli.
Steamed hams.
And
so-
proceed
Can I you weren't there.
Keep going.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
So we're sitting in class, and teacher has back turned to us. She's writing notes, and suddenly she just drops the chalk. And it's like, the hell is that smell? She looks over, and right in front of her face is Andrew stuffing his face with half-cooked broccoli. And that's when the smell finally wafts over to everyone else, and half the girls in the class, like all 4 of them, start gagging. And some of the guys,
cooked it with his sweat.
half the guys were gagging. The rest of us, who are friends with Andrew, just started laughing our asses off. She banned him from the class for like 2 days. It's like, do you have broccoli? Yes. Out there. And he would knock on the door 20 minutes in, and it's like, I'm done. Can I join class now? And he would sit down.
be banned from the class because of cooking his broccoli.
He was not allowed to eat in that class. He was definitely not allowed to eat broccoli. He was not allowed to have the broccoli in his bag. It was worse than weed.
Oh, it's so good.
If she tripped on his bag that was always never near his desk, and a big baggie of weed fell out, she'd be like,
Okay.
could be broccoli.
That's
and then
worse-
she'd
that-
put it
yeah.
back in his
No,
bag.
that's literally less terrible than broccoli. Meanwhile, you skip this over to my history class, which I believe is the same period. And this was great because you can skip this over, like you just trot that right over to our history class. In comparison to the you're not allowed to eat anything, my teacher, he's great. My history teacher decided, we're in a portable. We're gonna order pizzas. He goes, guys, I'm thinking we order pizzas to the portable every couple of Fridays, every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. We'll order some pizzas to the portable. Dudes, we ordered friggin' pizzas to the portable like 6 times during the semester.
In class.
In class. And he was totally chill with it. To the point that he was like, he pitched this idea to us. He goes, guys, I'm kind of considering, when it gets a little nicer. He pitches this idea. It was about February or March. He pitches this idea. He goes, when the weather gets a little nicer, I'm gonna buy a barbecue. He goes, I'm gonna buy a barbecue. We go. So I'm like, you're gonna what? He goes, I'm gonna buy a barbecue out here, like a little camp barbecue. We're gonna, I'll make some barbecue. We'll do class outside. It'll be a great time. We're gonna do some class. We'll do all our notes outside because he would lecture to us rather than just doing PowerPoints and stuff. I personally really liked it. Some people, not their favorite thing. I was always cool with it, and mostly because I was very familiar with this particular teacher. After having played football for him for a long time, having done a ton of extracurriculars that he was involved with, all of that type of stuff. So I was cool with it. But he goes, "Yeah, I want to get a." He's like, "I'm gonna get a barbecue. We'll do class outside. I'll barbecue. It'll be a great time." I'm like, of course I'm down with it because I love barbecue, as you guys know, as you two know. I friggin' love barbecue. So we nearly bought a barbecue for the class. One of our classes, in the midst of our talks about the French Revolution, so we're literally talking about Robespierre lopping off the heads of royals, and we've been in the middle of this for a little while. We were browsing Amazon for barbecues by the end of a class. We went from talking about the Reign of Terror to browsing Amazon for barbecues and then deciding what we wanted to barbecue in class.
Did you end up getting a barbecue?
We did not, because he ended up getting his regular classroom back.
Oh, that sucks.
He got 209 back after, or was able to split it with different teacher. And yeah, so unfortunately we didn't end up getting the barbecue. We did order pizzas, and we did do class outside. We talked about the communist revolution outside. That was great. I also referred to Vladimir Lenin as my dad.
Kinky?
Which I was like, oh shit, that's my dad. And he's like, yeah, this is Curtis's dad. He just totally goes along with it. It was fun. It was hilarious.
Tall, blonde, terrible leader. I see it.
Yeah. Basically.
Also, kind of going back to Andrew and his broccoli. I once made a teacher laugh by hiding it.
Oh yeah.
Did you hide that?
I
grade
ran into him at work today, actually.
You did? Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
In grade 11 biology, I was sitting next to Andrew. He, just like the math class, he kept bringing broccoli, but this time it was in a big old base cell container.
Like the Costco
Like
size
the
base
Costco-
cell, like gallon
I also
tub.
wanted to. Oh, and I gotta tell the ramen story before we end the podcast too.
And also, so
Oh yeah, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah. No, we're still just chatting. And
Okay.
like honestly, I mean, we're coming up on nearly 2 hours, but whatever. This is gonna be a fun episode. Like this is a fun episode.
So anyway, we're sitting next to each other in biology, right? And our teacher, generally most of the time, when he's starting the class, he's generally standing in front of us, right? To the side a little, though, right? So, start of class, it's second period, roughly, I believe. So, Andrew comes in, puts his stuff down on the floor, then leaves the classroom again. For some reason, I think he wanted to go use the washroom or something before the period actually started, right?
Or he was gonna buy chocolate milk.
Oh,
That's what
of course
he
he
did.
was gonna
one
buy
of the two,
chocolate
one of the
milk.
two, something
Yeah.
chocolate milk. So he left the room, left the stuff there. And Takut was the teacher was kind of just standing there, just looking around, setting up stuff, right, for the class. So I was like, I take the
He
tub.
actually made that exact noise, that exact like Waluigi-esque. Yeah, and then just
So I take the tub, put it into the desk opposite of where Andrew's is, so adjacent to me on the other side, and just put it into the desk.
yeah, this is great.
And he comes back about a minute later. The teacher, Andrew, just starts looking around. Right? I just kind of stare at him, look at the teacher, look at the people behind me. They're all just smoking, with big old goofy grin on their face. Andrew's like, "Where's my broccoli?" And it was like, the teacher just starts laughing under his breath. The people behind me are like giggling. And it will go like 2 minutes of him searching for his broccoli in the exact same spot. He just standing there, just looking around, looking underneath, opening his bag. I just go, "Hey, Andrew, take it out of the thing." He almost slapped me, I think.
Oh, it was great.
I actually would do that in our grade 12 bio class. Except for I wouldn't put it in the desk. I would put it on the other end of the classroom, in one of the bookshelves behind the books. Like I would hide it hardcore. He would find it after like 3 minutes. He would just go, it's not there. That's where he's hidden it today. Like a bloodhound. He would smell that sweaty broccoli.
Well, this
But
was
that-
before Smelly, so I mean,
This was after.
no, I know, like, it was before my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when we learned about the biology, and the biology teachers in the science department had the best prank between each other, the best inside joke. So there's this old diagram from like the 60s, and it was supposed to be of a root. It had like the little spindly bits of the root. It had the different types of tissue. It was a science diagram. But it looked like a human dick.
They did have that, didn't they?
That's why you'd see it in your classroom for like 3 days, and then it would be gone because they would hide it in like that person's desk in the science office or that person's classroom at that time. I think at one point, one of the female teachers put it on the chair of one of the other male teachers, but dropped it really low so he wouldn't notice it. Because you wouldn't think about your chair, and you go to sit down, and it's at the same height, and it's a giant root dick, and you go, oh dang.
Oh dang. But yeah, that's awesome. Another Andrew story that I want to mention just real quick. This will be our last little story because we're coming up. Number one, this podcast is going on super long, even though it's a super fun episode. But also, it's nearly 1:20 in the morning, and I have a 40-minute drive home.
Yeah, I gotta walk through the ghetto too.
No, I got you.
No, you're in the other way.
I have to go that way. Anyways, that's besides our point. I want to talk about. Anyways, I want to talk about Andrew deciding. So we had some of my other friends and I we decided to host a Christmas party. And we asked to do, so we're doing a potluck. So I'm like, oh, I got you guys. I'll bring some pizza. I'll bring some booze. It'll be a good time. Because I had to pick up, I happened to be the one picking up booze that night. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get some pizzas, right? We're all doing normal stuff, whatever we decided to do. And Andrew did not decide to do normal stuff. He instead said, I'm going to bring ramen. We go, Andrew, what? He goes, I'm going to bring ramen. Ramen so spicy that you can't eat it. Or some ridiculous shit like that.
He would bring that to my place every other day.
Yes. And he walks into this party. We're all going, okay, whatever. Just let Andrew do whatever he's supposed to do. It doesn't really matter. He walks in with a 24 case, like one of those that we would pull at work. We would pull those off of a pallet to put and then open it to put on the shelf.
Costco sized
pack 24
ramen
pack
noodle
of
bowls.
ramen bowl noodles. We're like, okay, whatever, Andrew. We're basically just ignoring the ridiculous shit. But he chose, honest to God, to bring to a potluck, essentially Mr. Noodles.
Hey, those Nongshim noodles are the best cup ramen ever.
Yeah. They're good and everything. What kind of a potluck is that?
College?
I mean, technically, but I brought pizzas, so that I think is more college.
No,
that's more
ramen's like college food.
Yeah, but that's more college party.
No, that's
pizzas.
College dinner is ramen.
Pizzas are more college party than ramen.
Depends on how poor you are.
Fair enough. But anyways, that's totally besides our point. That's basically, I just wanted to get one last little, quick story in. But I think we're basically good to go. We're going to end the podcast here. So thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to Noah for being on the show today. Hopefully we're going to get you on when we have more time. Hopefully we're going to have you on a few more shows because this one was really fun. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the show. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Curtis Smitty. You can find Matt at DravardMC. Are you on Twitter?
I have no idea what my handle is or any of that.
Okay.
It's probably McChillage. So just switch McChillage. McChill.
It'll be on the on screen and in the
Chinese
description.
dude made a fake one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll find it and put it in the description.
We'll figure something. We'll find that.
I'll bring up my phone.
And then we'll post that afterwards. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening. And don't forget to subscribe. Give us some ideas for future shows. Let us know what you thought. And
So it is at NTG_McChillage.
Cool.
Okay.
That's gonna be on there. So that's going to be it for the show today, guys. Thank you, and take care, and have a great day.
Bye-bye!